What is up, everybody? I am TNA, it's WWE, back for another video. And this video is going to be the top 5 future babyfaces that I think could totally take over the WWE. And I think now would be an interesting time to do this video for a couple of reasons. You know, A, because John Cena has been in that spot for so long, and I think it's just obvious that, you know, for a very long time, WWE has been trying to find someone that could possibly take that spot as the next, you know, big top babyface. And, you know, as much as that they need to be doing that right now, they're having a lot of older and part-timers come and fill that role to get the, you know, the big ratings. When, in my opinion, what they need to be doing, and they've had plenty of time to do it, is build top, you know, not only heels, top babyfaces that could possibly, you know, be the Stone Cold, the John Cena, the Hulk Hogan of this next generation. So, yeah, with that being said, here are the top 5 guys that I think could possibly fill that role. Number 5, Sami Zayn. Now, I'm not going to lie, man. Sami Zayn might be, like, my favorite wrestler right now. You know, like, I mean, Jericho is, like, my number 1 guy. But, you know, besides Jericho, like, and Jericho's always been my number 1 guy, by the way. But besides that, like, I don't know, man. There's just something about Sami Zayn. Like, he's like the ultimate struggle guy. He's very similar to Daniel Bryan. You know, he's just, you know that he's fighting the struggle, and that anytime he overcomes it, it's just a big moment. And Sami Zayn is one of those guys that I feel like they could really do some, like, big moments with. Because, let's face it, WWE over the past, like, 6-7 years has been, like, it seems to me almost like they're making a timeline that, and they're, like, purposely having these big, like, Goldberg coming back, and then, like, with the Taker matches and everything, Brock beating Taker Sheik. I feel like they're just, like, making sure that there are big moments that are happening, like, throughout this time. And Sami Zayn is just, like, a guy that I think that it could happen with more organically. Like, Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, even though, like, it was very established what would be happening going in, it was just, like, one of those, like, feel-good organic moments because he gained his popularity organically. And Sami Zayn has done so as well. Sami Zayn, I think, has a lot of similarities to Daniel Bryan in a lot of ways. And I think that, like, Sami Zayn could totally be WWE's top guy. I think he could be, like, Raw's champion. You know, a lot of people would disagree with me. You know, like, I listen to a ton of podcasts on YouTube and everything, and a lot of people would disagree, but I don't care, man. I love Sami Zayn, and I think the fans really like him too, and he's just that guy that, like, will always have that struggle that he needs to overcome, and because of that, he'll always be over. So, yeah, number 5, Sami Zayn. Number 4, Seth Rollins. And, you know, the reason why I'm putting him on this list is because he hasn't really been established yet. Well, no, that's not true. He has been established as the babyface, but there hasn't really been that defining, like, turn yet. It's kind of just been like, alright, Triple H turned on him, right? And then, like, it's kind of just like he was babyface automatically because of that. And I'm sure that, like, if he hadn't gotten injured the second time, that the feud would have started to actually really play out because, you know, Triple H, you know, things started to play out again. Then right afterwards, Rollins got hurt, and it really was awful timing. It sucks. But, I don't know. Like, I think once he has that, like, definitive babyface turn, then he's going to start to really make some moves as, like, a top babyface. Because, you know, he's going to beat Triple H at WrestleMania. I hope he does anyway. He has to. And then afterwards, there's just so many, like, endless possibilities. They could do a feud with Strowman. You know, they could do a feud with Owens again. There's a lot of stuff that they could do. You know, Samoa Joe, he can go to SmackDown, and there's just tons of, you know, young guys that he can fight over there. So I think that Rollins is definitely going to be one of the top babyfaces throughout the years to come. And I just hope that, you know, he's able to come back soon and, you know, play out this feud with Triple H so they could have that awesome Mania moment. Number 3 is Dean Ambrose. Now, Dean Ambrose is a guy that I honestly think could have been, like, the next Stone Cold of this generation. You know, he's just a total badass. He, like, there's just something about him, man. Like, he's relatable, and he's crazy yet casual at the same time. And I know he was WWE champion, and, like, I don't know, man. It's just like they dropped the ball with him. Like, there's a lot of things that I think that they shouldn't have done with him. Like, I think maybe he is a little bit too casual, and just the over commentary of, oh, he's the lunatic fringe. Like, I think it kind of started to like derail his momentum a little bit. I don't know. It's just there's just something that like is not right with Dean Ambrose right now, and I think that soon, like, he needs to have like a really big match at WrestleMania. It's probably going to be with Baron Corbin, and they dropped the ball with the Lesnar match, but like soon something needs to happen where like he either like just a really big feud so people aren't like totally not interested in Ambrose anymore. Because Ambrose is close. I think people like him because he in the Shield he was always like looked at as the guy that would come out on top. He was a good champion. It's just, I don't know, man. I feel like there was just something, I can't put my finger on it. It's weird, but there's just something that they could have done differently with Ambrose. Because he's an amazing competitor, and I think if they just like booked him a little bit differently, he could have been already like the top babyface guy. But either way, like AJ Styles beat him for the belt, and I wasn't really upset about that too much either. But Dean Ambrose could definitely, throughout the years to come, be a top player and a contender, if not 2-time, 3-time champion. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 2, Finn Balor. Now everyone knows that, when Finn Balor got originally put on Monday Night Raw, he got pushed to the moon right away, man. He beat Roman Reigns, and then I think he beat, was it Seth Rollins at the pay-per-view? I don't remember, but I was actually at the Monday Night Raw after SummerSlam last year when, they announced that Finn Balor would have to drop the title, and I didn't know that was happening until then. And it was upsetting, but, it's just weird because injuries, like, even though they suck, it makes the creative team have to be more creative. And, like, without Finn Balor getting hurt, we wouldn't have gotten Kevin Owens. And without that, we wouldn't have gotten Owens and Jericho. So, and we're not, and it's just like, yeah, when people get hurt, like, the creative team has to be more creative. They have to work on the fly. But, even so, like, Finn Balor would have had an amazing run as champion. And I think that he definitely needs to come back, as soon as he comes back, right in the main event picture, just like he was before when he left. And yeah, I think like if they book him right, which hopefully they will, he can end up being one of the top guys for like maybe like 10, 15 years, honestly. He could really, I think, like just be like, because he's marketable as hell, he's interesting, he's charismatic, he's amazing in the ring, he attracts casuals, he attracts hardcore fans, like, I think he's probably the full package. So, yeah, Finn Balor is definitely going to be one of WWE's top babyfaces. And number 1, Bray Wyatt. That's right, Bray Wyatt. So, like, I think what's going to happen, honestly, is at WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt is going to end up losing the title, and then Randy Orton is going to take the Wyatt family from him. I think Eric Rowan is probably going to come back soon. And for a little while, I think we're going to see Orton with Harper and Rowan. And I think because of this, Bray Wyatt will come out as a babyface. And, the fans they attract to Bray Wyatt. As a heel, he gets all of those flashlights in the audience, the fireflies. It's unbelievable, and he's a heel, like, I think that he's another one just like Finn Balor that could, and he is very marketable, his character is similar. He's like one of the only guys that like the actual like gimmick has been successful, because there's not a lot of guys nowadays that could work a gimmick and not have it be cheesy, but Bray Wyatt has hit the fucking home run. I'm so happy that he's champion. He's probably going to be a transitional champion. I mean, if he retains at Mania, that would be great. It's just I think WWE wants to have that title change at Mania because, maybe not. I don't know. It's just, now that I think about it, Bray Wyatt might retain his title because think about it. Usually what they do is they have one title be retained and then they have the title switch, right? So chances are Goldberg is walking in to WrestleMania as the champion. And, like, I think it's almost obvious that Brock Lesnar is going to be beating him for the Universal title. And, so that would be one new champion. And maybe Bray Wyatt will retain. That would be cool, man, if he could actually beat Orton. But either way, I think Bray Wyatt's coming out of WrestleMania babyface. And I just think that's the way to go with him in the future. The fans love him already as a heel. You don't really have to do much to make him a babyface. You know, it's just little things. So, I think he could probably be WWE's top babyface. You know, he's young, he's not old. I think he's like in his like early 30s, if I'm right. And he could go for another 10 years. You know, maybe a little less, but you know, he has a lot more years left in the tank. And this is only his first title run. It's just great because everyone was so upset about how he was being booked, and now he's finally champion, man. After like 3 years of all this crap that he had to take, he's finally champion. It's awesome. So I don't know, like even the it's just the thing with Dean Ambrose, like it's just upsetting, man. I just keep thinking about that, like I can't put my finger on exactly what it is that like WWE did that like derailed Ambrose's momentum. I think it was just like he just got stale kind of quick, like the lunatic fringe character. I think they just need to drop that whole lunatic fringe crap, stop saying it, and just have it be finished, because I think that's what made him like suffer all of this like negative, you know, like it's just like there's like a negative connotation with Dean Ambrose now, kind of. I don't know, man, because I really think that Dean Ambrose could be like similar to like Stone Cold right there. I think he could be, but because he could be a badass. You know, he has, you know, Roman Reigns isn't on this list because Roman Reigns doesn't have the charisma like any of these 5 guys do. You know, like all these 5 guys that I listed, the fans already love. You know, like I don't know, man. It's just like I think Ambrose really could have already been in that spot. But you know, I think you know, I put Bray Wyatt number 1 for a reason. I think it's going to be happening soon. And, you know, man, I really like Bray Wyatt. I'm happy that he's champion. And I hope any of these 5 guys have an amazing career in the future to come. And hopefully WWE is able to decide who their next face of the WWE is going to be. Because Cena, Orton, you know, Lesnar, they don't have a hell of a lot of years left. They need to start playing. And, you know, they have kind of started. It's just weird. Like, they put the championship on The Miz, Sheamus. But it's just, there's other people, I don't think they haven't hit the mark yet. But when they will, they'll know. And I think, you know, it sucks what happened with Daniel Bryan because he was the guy. You know, it was obvious that he was that guy that was going to be the next face of the company. But, you know, things played out the way they did. But I guess that's basically it, you know. Comment down below who you think the next face of the WWE is. You know, I might do a video like similar to this, but on the top 5 heels. So yeah, you know, as always, stay tuned for the next video. Make sure to subscribe for more. My name is TNA is WWE. Peace.